Welcome to the HireLearning podcast, the show where ambition meets strategy. This is your go-to space for career truth, financial empowerment, leadership growth, and real conversations that are unfiltered and uncut. If you're ready to elevate your career, confidence, and future, then you're in the right place. Join our co-hosts, HR professionals Yolanda, Erin, and Caroline, right here, right now, for an episode of HireLearning.
Welcome, ladies. Good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, welcome back. So, today's episode.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? When you realize you're done with this job.
I've realized that many a time.
Okay.
Right. I work at this job, but this job ain't working.
For me.
Right. Exactly.
But you know what I find funny about that?
What?
Sometimes people don't know when it's time to go. It's like when you go to a party, when you step in that party door during your college years or whenever,
Right.
and something don't feel right, don't you leave?
Immediately.
Yeah.
We out.
Or you feel like, oh, we're not staying here long.
Yeah.
You letting your friends know, all right, we're going to get a drink. We're moving.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
You
So
say now, you get that look like.
Just something here just doesn't feel right.
Absolutely. Trust your gut.
Exactly.
Trust your gut. So the same thing can happen in the job, at work, with a particular job. It doesn't matter if you are new to a particular job or you've been in your role for years and years and years. At one point or at some point, you come to you have a candid conversation with yourself and you realize that this particular job is no longer working for me. It's no longer benefiting me. Mm-hmm. I'm not thriving. Okay. Mm-hmm. I am really hitting the snooze button for an additional 2 or 3 times each morning or each evening before I have to report to this job.
Yes.
So what does that look like, and when you realize that this job is no longer working for you?
Well, I have 2 distinct jobs that fit that bill.
Okay.
I'll tell you the first one because it's quick. So I started this position that I had been working in prior for years. So I really knew how to do this particular job. And I tell you, we're going to have to do another episode from this episode to make sure that when you're interviewing, that you're interviewing the interviewer. Because if I did that correctly, I probably would not have accepted this position.
Okay.
So I started this job, and I will tell you, it was December 14th.
Wow.
And I remember exactly the moment that I walked in this door, and something did not feel right. And it was the first day. It was the second day.
Okay.
And by the third day, I knew that this job was not for me. And it was December 29th that I started looking for a new job immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it didn't take long. And in this particular case, when I got there, the person who I was supposed to be reporting to, they had switched up on me. And then they switched up my title on me as well. And so apparently someone who was in the interview, on the interview panel, they must have felt that they should have had my position and then I should have their position.
Okay.
And that's exactly what happened when I got there. I felt like I was snowballed.
Yeah.
And I just tell you, they couldn't do that position as well as I could do that position. It showed. And so in that first week, they wanted me to show her how to do this job that I had applied for and received. Yes. And, I mentioned that it was December 14th on purpose because this person told me that I didn't really need to know how to do anything. I could just wait for everyone to come back from Christmas vacation to really begin the job. Well, that would have been almost a month later because, you have the holiday time and then you have New Year's.
Sure.
So, after that first week, and she thought I was going to come to work every day and just sit there and not do anything. I just couldn't believe it. However, she was really quick of asking me, can I show her?
Right. Okay.
I just couldn't believe it. And so I made up my mind very quickly that job wasn't for me.
And I would have been really quick to tell her, no, I cannot.
Right.
Oh,
right.
I did not.
Good.
Trust and believe, I did not.
So establishing boundaries, it sounded like you understood the value of establishing those boundaries early on.
That sounds like another good episode.
Establishing boundaries in the workplace is very, very important. But as I mentioned earlier, it also, from the experience, you trusted your gut. And you knew early on that this environment, that this culture was not something that was conducive for your professional development.
Exactly.
And you pivoted.
Very quickly.
Starting right around the beginning of the next year.
Very quickly.
She did that in 2 weeks.
Okay, right.
I did it in 3 days. I knew in 3 days that I was not going to stay at this job. I was dead serious.
The shortest I've ever stayed at a job was probably 9 or 10 months in one position that I hated from day one. Much like you. When I got there on day one and realized that what the culture was, when I realized who the people were, and I'm thinking to myself, if I did not have to work with these people and interact with them every day, we would not be cool in no way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Not friends, not acquaintances, not associates, not even business partners or colleagues. There was nothing that I felt like I could gain from those people. I just felt like they were so ignorant. Is that bad?
No,
That
that's
was your
what
gut feeling.
Trust your gut.
People
I would
are
say trust your
ignorant.
gut.
It was a small agency, but full of just ignorant people. And I said, I cannot. How did this happen? And on day one, I said, I got to go. And it took me about 9 months to get out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said it took about 9 months to plan, essentially, or think about and begin to execute your exit strategy.
Yes.
I recall being in a situation where, looking back, I definitely knew that the culture wasn't for me. I knew from the time of the interview and me expressing my skills and what I was hired to do in terms of the role. Once I got on the job and actually began, that things looked very different versus what was promised from the interview. And I learned also the importance of planning my exit strategy and being strategic about timing my exit strategy to ensure an easy exit. So, these types of things happen, and it all sounds like we understand trusting our gut and believing it when we experience it.
That's so
Absolutely.
funny when you say exit strategy. I actually had a team one time where they loved me so much, my team did. They were like, Erin, if you ever leave,
We're going with you.
please tell us so that we can leave too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let us know if you're planning to leave so we can leave too. And I'm like, I would never plan to leave, but then the leadership changed. And then that changed the culture. And then they brought in different people, and it was no longer the same great place that it was to work. And I told them, you guys, you know what, I think I'm thinking about leaving. They all dusted off their resumes real quick and found them some jobs. Quick. Do you hear me? Gone. And I said, and I helped a couple of them get their next position and move on.
Okay.
And once my whole team left, I left.
Wow. Good for you.
And we called it Operation Exit Strategy.
There we go.
That's what we called it at work.
There we go.
At work.
Well, I didn't call mine that. Actually, I called it hurry up and get the hell up out here. And I did make a plan. I really did make an exit plan. And one of the things that I did first, I started clearing my space. I started clearing my head because I was really angry. I was angry at all the things that was going on around me that I could no longer control. One of those things, racism issues, harassment, bullying was going on in this workspace, and I knew that I deserved better than that. And so when I literally cleared my photos, my personal belongings off my desk. I took my personal belongings home. There was no longer a need for my space to be mine anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I was really letting go. And after I did that, I started volunteering and signing up for everything possible so that I could strategically put these things on my resume. And so I also took all the free trainings that I could possibly take and started looking for a job. Every day I was looking for a new job. If I could put just one application out a week or a day, I did it. Mm-hmm. And it took me some time. I didn't get to leave immediately. Mm-hmm. I really didn't.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. But one piece that resonates with me that you said was you took the action. First and foremost, it started with you, and you executed actionable steps, starting with cleaning your workspace. Mm-hmm. And many times the decision to leave a place of employment it may not be an emotional decision. It may take time to cultivate that exit strategy, put into play that exit strategy, communicate with your network, expand your network, begin communicating and being intentional, and taking the necessary steps to inform others that you're looking. Mm-hmm. So the actionable steps don't necessarily happen overnight.
Yep. I really like the fact that you had a plan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you said, let me get my plan together and let me execute on this plan. Yeah. That is amazing.
Well, I was ignoring the red flags for a long time because I really enjoyed my job, or I wanted to enjoy my job. Mm-hmm.
You wanted, let's pause, you wanted to enjoy your job.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so when I realized that when I was pulling up in the parking lot every day and praying before I went into the building, I was looking for protections.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. I've run into situations where I was not strategic when this was years ago. And I just decided by the end of the week, it may have been like on a Wednesday. And by that Friday, I just said I was done.
Did you walk?
And what'd you do?
I quit.
Oh my God.
And I didn't think about it. I just was like, after Friday, I'm done. I'm not coming. I just was like, I'm not good at this. I'm not going to be good at this. I have no desire to learn this culture, learn this. At the time, I was working actually at a call center. And I learned very quickly that even though I valued myself as being an effective communicator, that because we were always talking on recorded lines, that my level of patience, my patience threshold was I needed to work on it. Mm-hmm. And after a couple of scenarios, I said, hey, I'm just not a good fit for this particular culture. And this culture is not going to adapt and or change for Caroline. Mm-hmm. So, Friday I handed over my badge and bid farewell and didn't look back. I didn't have any regrets at the time, but I just knew that my ability to grow, ability to sustain that environment was very short-lived.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you have another job lined up?
I did not. I
can't. Yeah.
I was much younger and a lot more careless and it worked out. Uh-huh. But I did not have a plan B, C, and or X. No.
Oh my gosh. So how long did it take you to get a new job after you quit that job?
Less than a month.
Okay. Jobs
less than a month.
Plentiful back then.
Yes.
I mean,
it wasn't today's climate.
Yeah. jobs are hard to come by today. Okay.
Yeah. You know, dead-end jobs do not announce themselves.
No, they don't.
Sometimes they sneak up on you silently.
That's what it was. It was dead and end. Yes.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. But a couple of things, though, we sometimes know, right, when we've outgrown the space. Mm-hmm. The space is not going to grow any further. And what happens also when you know that your talents aren't being utilized? That's what I thought in the scenario that I mentioned. Yeah. I knew the call center life, nothing against call center life, but my talents, who I was at that time, and in terms of Caroline, my strengths and my experience weren't being utilized. What do you do?
Well, on the other note, how about when your talent is being overutilized and your pay is under?
Oh, yikes!
Then what you
that's a whole nother topic.
2 or 3. I had that happen.
That's a whole nother topic.
And I quit. I did quit. I
there
quit
we go.
One job, but I had before I quit that job, I had another job lined up. I even walked in my supervisor's office and told him, I'm going to quit this job on this day. I put it on his calendar. And he thought I was playing. And
wow.
He was like, oh, Aaron, stop playing. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to mark it on your calendar since you don't believe me. And that's what happened. He kept piling more and more work on me. People were leaving. It was a revolving door. And I was very good at my job. So anytime anybody would leave, he would just give me their caseload of work to do. And I said, if you pile one more person work up on me, I'm quitting. I was quitting anyway.
Okay.
But somebody else left. He said, you going to do such and such work? And I said, here you go, my letter of resignation. And he was shocked. And I'm like, I don't know why you're surprised. I have it on your calendar, but you can go ahead and push that date back a week because this is not going to work for me. And I didn't even care that I was going to lose 1 week worth of pay. It was not worth my peace of mind. A piece of money is not worth your peace of mind.
Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly. Amen. So how do you differentiate between knowing when it's time to leave versus knowing when it's time to renegotiate?
Oh, wow. Well, I think the difference is if there's some developmental space for you to move to, if there's some leveling up that you can do, if there's new opportunities, if that company is growing, if it's expanding, if you can see yourself on their org chart in years to come. You know, nowadays it's different from maybe the last generation where they were so loyal to that job and they would stand on these jobs for 30 and 40 years.
Right.
Now, I don't feel as though that you have to. And you could really be in an organization and maybe move to another city, but still be in that same organization. Or you could still be in the same line of work and just not work for that particular organization. You still have your career intact.
Right.
And so for me to decide if I want to negotiate, I have to really see the ability for me to do so. And also do not accept false hope and false promises because they will keep you by telling you, oh, I have a position for you.
Right.
Or I'm going to put you in this position or, just wait and you give it some time. We're going to do this. We're trying to put this in place. And the next thing you know, they putting things in place, but it's just not you.
Right. Right.
So when that stuff is going on, then that's when you know it's time to go.
Okay.
And I will tell you something that I do my first week on the job. I ask for the job description for the position that I've accepted, and I also ask for the competencies. And I want to know what those performance goals are immediately. And when I start, I do that for a purpose. So as I'm learning the role and getting new assignments and more assignments, I'm charting all that stuff down so that I'm prepared when it's time for me to update my resume. And I don't wait. I don't have to be looking for a job to update my resume.
Right.
I never wait to update my resume.
Okay.
And that'll be an episode
That's
coming
another
to you
good
soon.
one.
Exactly. Don't wait. Don't wait to update your resume. So a couple of tips, right, include when you were talking about loyalty, maybe we should really explore the notion of stop romanticizing loyalty,
Yes.
especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. One thing I never was.
Loyal?
I never cared
Okay.
about these jobs. Not that I didn't care about the job. I'm lying. I did care about the job, the position I held, the mission of the agency or what have you. But I'm like, these jobs ain't loyal. I work in HR. I have been at the table when Bob died over the weekend. Like, Bob had a heart attack over the weekend. He died. And then not even a moment of silence. Not even, let's send Bob's family a care basket, a card. It was, who's going to do Bob's job?
And Bob's cube is now available, and we will have an interim replacement reporting on Tuesday.
So I'm gonna tell y'all something. You can be loyal to these jobs. These jobs are not loyal to you. If you gone, they don't care. They're gonna backfill you the next day. Right.
Exactly. It depending upon which organization or whether it's large or small. Maybe after lunch. So loyalty is the notion of loyalty. Romanticizing loyalty when it comes to the workplace and the culture of today is contrastingly extremely different than it was 20, 30 years ago or even 15 years ago. We're in a totally different, we're in a post-COVID era, right? We're also in a totally different technological era where, as you mentioned, you may not have to be in person to perform in this function on the East Coast. You may be, in another country, and you may be effective in this role. So loyalty sometimes is, especially now, very overrated.
That's right. That's right. So I would just say, plan before you leap.
Oh, yes.
Exit strategy. Get it together.
Yes.
Be loyal to yourself first.
Be loyal to yourself first.
Okay. Rebuild and leverage on your own performance qualities. And plan and have goals set so you know when to pivot.
Yes.
That's just some great tips.
You guys, so I want to thank you all for joining us for another episode of Higher Learning. Y'all, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your stories. Tell us about a job you had to quit. What were the circumstances? Let us know. Send us your stories. Ask us some questions. Continue to like, share, and follow, you guys. And who knows, you may hear about your story on an episode of Higher Learning coming up soon. All right.
You'll find our email address in the link below.
Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye.